Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have the Prince of Pentacles. This is the builder. This is, I think, a lot of commitment. You're someone that has really been like showing up every day. You know, you've been putting in a lot of effort. You've been giving something like 110% of yourself. All right, let's put this into some context. Let's find out what you're building. Let's find out why this card's coming up now. Right? Are we starting to waver in our commitment? No, it doesn't look like that. Seems like we're still slow and steady. We've got the Eight of Pentacles here. But you might be wanting things to speed up a little bit. Yeah, okay, more fire energy. But we've got the Queen of Pentacles up here too, and an Ace of Pentacles. What you're working on is really going to secure your success in life. It feels financial to me mostly. It feels like if you just keep putting in your steady efforts, it's going to pay off, and there's going to be that big jackpot for you, right? But we've got more fire. We've got some water. That's pretty good. Nine of Cups. We've got the Fool, and we've got more fire. This is something that's very hard for you to contain. It's very difficult for you to stay slow and steady and cautious and careful and it's like you want to make those big risk investments, right? But you're being counseled by someone to take it slow. Go low risk, right? Take the safe kind of path. Yeah. We don't always like the safe path, though, do we? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we will set down over here. We're going to put Jimbo, the Lizard King, a.k.a. Mr. Lizard, right there on top of that card, and we're not going to look at that card until the very end. No peeking, Libra. Okay? It will tie everything together at the end. It will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is or you have a hunch, I want you to put your hunch down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Okay? All right, let's look around the room here because we've got a couple of major arcana cards. These are interesting. These are real interesting. They're very active cards. They're very creative, very kind of, they like to explore. They like action. They like activity, right? They like journeys and traveling and wandering, and they like breakthroughs, and they like just passion and all this heat. And we've got heat here with fire underneath everything. And we've got the water here. And we've got the earth here. What we don't have is any air. So it's kind of like there's not really, there's not a discussion here. It's just trying to contain our fires, trying to contain our excitement. And it could be that the closer and closer we get to this ace, and I really feel like the ace, in this case, it's not talking about the bottom of or it's not talking about the finish line. I don't think this is like the beginning of the beginning of the path, right? I feel like this is the summit of the mountain. This is you getting that big reward. This is you getting that jackpot, right? Because I think that you've done all of that work to get here, right? So sometimes I think of the ace of any suit really as the top of the mountain, and the tens are at the bottom, right? It's wide at the bottom. It gets narrow and narrower as we get to the top. So I think, too, this is you kind of refining what the goal is for you. Refining what you understand as being the big win, the jackpot, the finish line, the goal here. What is the summit of the mountain for you? Yeah. And I think the closer we get, the further up the mountain we get, it gets narrower, right? So we have kind of less choices. We've got less options to move around. When we're down here at the bottom, if we had a 10 of pentacles, a lot of choices, a lot of different paths we could take up the hill, a lot of different distractions, right? A lot of ways to get lost. But the narrower it gets, it becomes a little bit more of a tightrope walk. But there's less room for movement, less room for distraction. There's a refinement of what we're doing. But there's also more risk, right? So as you get closer and closer to your goal, it's absolutely important for you to stay focused and not get distracted or get off balance, and lose your way. And it's really important for us to continue being extra careful, right? It's kind of like when you're just starting out, then you can be a little bit more wild and free and you can run around and all this stuff. But the higher we get, more and more care and prudence and diligence and caution is needed. All right. So we've got no air energy here. So it feels to me like there's no discussion. The higher up you get on the mountain too, the air gets thinner, right? So it feels to me like we're almost there. We're so close to the finish line now that it's useless to try to second guess yourself. There's no point in thinking, maybe I should have went a different way. No, you're almost at the end. What are you going to do? Go back down the mountain, choose a different path, and then climb up again? No. So we're so high up here that there's no air. There's no room for doubt. There's no room for confusion. There's no room for second-guessing ourselves. There's no room for any kind of other options. This is it, okay? I think this is a really good it. Now, I do feel like there's an older female energy in your life. I don't know if this is mom, grandma, if this is older sibling or something. I feel like they've kind of passed, but I feel like they're still with you. They may have even kind of now taken on a role of a spirit guide for you, because I feel like they are kind of cheering you on in a way, or not even cheering you on, but like calming you down. I feel like they're kind of saying, just keep going a little bit more. We're almost there. They're really on your team here. Yeah. And it feels like a family member. So it feels like it's an older female kind of energy. I'm getting an A, but also an S name. I don't know if two different initials, S and A, something like that. I'm getting two separate names. And maybe they're someone that has like two first names, or they're called by two names. I do feel like they've passed, but I feel like it's like an ancestor. It's like a spirit guide. They're right there with you. They're climbing up the mountain with you. And I think that really does give you a sense of strength, of confidence, a sense of safety as well. Just having that kind of spirit companion with you, Got some other major arcana energy here. Do you also communicate with spirit animals? Because I feel there's a lot of animals kind of around you as well. I don't know if that's something, maybe it sounds kind of funny, right? I think that you have the ability to communicate with animals or spirit animals, or somehow you help people to discover their spirit animal. Something along those lines with the animals here with you. Yeah. I feel a strong spiritual presence around you. Yeah. And I think everybody's kind of helping you to get to the top of this thing. Whatever this is, if this is a career thing, a personal thing, a religious thing, if it is something involving traveling, I do feel like you've been making travel plans. Am I right? That you have, at least in the next, let's say, a year, you have plans to travel. I think you're starting to put some plans together for travel. What we see in the background, though, the Eon or Judgment card. This was a path that you intentionally set out upon. This is a big transition for you when this work started. This could be your religious pilgrimage. This could be a career change that you made, a career decision, this breakthrough. I feel like, in the readings, we get the Eon or Judgment card quite a bit. Not usually in the past position, though, right? And we always say, well, this is the doorway to your future. Yeah. This is the breakthrough for you. This is going to open up all the possibilities for success. It's almost like we're jumping timelines here. We're kind of teleporting to a different dimension, a different universe. Well, this has already been done for you. You're already there, and this is it. You just have teleported yourself to this mountain, and you're almost at the top now, right? So whatever this was in the past, this was a difficult choice that you had to make. But you made it because you knew the future was worth it. You knew it was worth it. This is something that's going to give you more control over your life, give you more financial freedom, more resources, right? More ability to travel. Yeah. This is something that's going to give you, I think, a lot more satisfaction and meaning in your life. The Nine of Cups. We haven't been seeing the Nine of Cups as much lately as we used to. I don't know why that is. Sometimes there are some cards here. Now, if you've been a viewer of this channel for a while, you know that some cards kind of make their appearance every day. Like the Nine of Cups, it used to show up every single day, and then it took a break. And then the Fool too used to show up every single day. Now it's kind of taken a little bit of a break. As I'm looking at that Fool card, though, I'm getting this impression that you mix together essential oils or something, right? You're like what do they call those people that do that? A perfumist or something. I don't know. I feel like you're mixing perfumes or oils or something to make like your own either perfume or like cologne or essential oil mixtures. I feel you with these little bottles, little vials, like mixing these aromas together. Yeah, these oils and stuff. And I don't know how that connects to any of this. Maybe that's the business that you're doing. Maybe that is just it's something that is coming through to validate and confirm the energy that we're in, or to offer some synchronicity for some of you. Okay. If these details aren't meant for you, don't worry about it. Just leave them for the next person. The Knight. The Knight of Wands. We want to run up this mountain. We're having a hard time, especially as we know we're getting closer and closer to the end here, to this goal, to the summit. We're growing impatient. We have all this fire in us, and maybe when we made this transition to this new timeline, maybe we thought it was going to be a little bit different. Maybe we're like, hey, I thought it was going to be all exciting and fun and wild and fast-paced, adrenaline, but it's not. It's just hard work, like what the heck? You lied to me. So I feel like there's this underlying, not anxiety so much, but just like almost a restlessness, almost like an eagerness. Like I can't wait until I'm allowed to just go free and run wild, because you have all of this creative energy. You have all of this stamina and vitality, right? You just want to run and play and, create and live your life and experience life and travel and, all these kinds of things. And so we have to kind of keep this slow and steady. We got to turn the flame down a little bit, because we're not trying to scorch what we're doing here. So we got to turn this flame down to just a simmer and let this thing cook a little while longer, and then the final dish is going to be extraordinary. Maybe you're doing something in food service. That's a possibility. Maybe it's some sort of culinary thing, or I don't know, hospitality thing that you're doing. Ooh, I could see that maybe with the Nine of Cups here. But whatever you're doing is really it's setting you up for life, right? This is part of your destiny, that in some way when you get to the summit here, it is just the beginning, right? So the Ace of Pentacles, I know the traditional way, it's the beginning of something. Yeah, I mean it is. But it's also the culmination of something. It's also getting to the top of something. And then from here, where are you going to go? Because once you get to the ace, it basically starts another cycle. Then it becomes a 10. And you got to climb up that 10. So it's not like you get to the summit here and then that's it. Game over. Time to go to bed. No, now you have even more work to do. Now, maybe it's from this point. Now the fun really begins. Yeah. I say we go over to the path of the serpent now. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it helps out the channel, and I do appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Over here, we've got that 9. We got the 9. So it could be that when we get to the summit here, that's when we really get this excitement, right? Sometimes the 8 of Wands can be a little bit of anxiety, right? Because we have so much of this creative energy, but it's contained. We're not allowed to use it yet. And so we just get really antsy and really like, we're jazz hands, we're tap dancing in place because we want to get to it finally. Just, give me the signal and let me loose. I think that is coming. I think when we get to whatever this summit is, whatever this goal, maybe this is the grand opening of the restaurant, right? Something like that. Then you really get to go wild, because there is such an eagerness in you, such an excitement for all of the possibilities. You're already thinking, like if this is something like a restaurant or something, thinking of all the different dishes that you're going to make. The way everything is going to come together, and just it's so fast paced, and it's just, you have all of these creative ideas, and you can't wait to start really implementing them and going after them and kind of following your creative spirit and just seeing where it leads, right? And I think that's really what's coming next for you. And that's a really exciting thing. There are so many possibilities for you to express yourself. It feels really good, right? The next card up is that 8, the 9 of Cups here. Going from the 8, going to the 9. This is really, not only is it important for you to like express yourself and you have all these creative ideas, but it's a situation that's going to feel very personally enriching. Okay, the 9 of Cups is the card of happiness. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative, abundance, fulfillment, satisfaction. You're doing what you're meant to do. You're following your bliss. You're pursuing your happiness. And this card's in the position of your environment. So not only are you doing that kind of for you internally, but it's reflected in the work that you're doing, right? So to me, it feels like a restaurant. It feels like you're doing something that's just, your customers they're gonna feel the love. They're gonna be able to, when they taste your food, they're gonna know that you did this with this kind of 9 of Cups satisfaction and love and this kind of creative energy. Like it's just feels very authentic to me. And I love going to a restaurant or going anywhere and doing anything, visiting any like little store or a boutique or I don't know, whatever kind of place you go to, restaurants. And I don't know, I like to eat. And you can tell when people are really feeling it, when people really love what they're doing, and not the fake kind of, expression. They just have to pretend that they like it. No, you can really feel it when somebody is just absolutely in love with what they're doing, what they're creating, right? What they're selling, or they really believe in their product, right? That sort of thing. You can feel that. And I think that's why we've got the 9 of Cups in the position of your environment, because people around you, they're going to feel that. They really are going to feel that. Now, did you have a bad fall on a bicycle when you were younger? Or maybe more recently? I don't know that you were younger. Spirit's telling me to ask about the fall off the bike. I don't know if that was recent or what. Be careful with yourself, right? One of those details that come through, I don't know how it relates to things. Or maybe you were kind of showboating on the bicycle a little bit, doing some tricks, and you took a spill, maybe. But anyway, maybe that leads us over here to this Fool, the Fool card. The Fool card, it's in the position of the obstacle, really, or it's in the position of what we don't want, but we do kind of want it, right? And the first impression I get from the Fool is, a lot of travel. That this is really, you can go anywhere and do anything you want, but you got to be smart about it. You don't want to be the fool. You want to be the sage, right? And no, I don't just mean the herb for cooking, sage, but the wise person, right? So we have this desire for freedom. We have this desire for no responsibilities. The fool doesn't care about anything. I'll tell you that. The fool just likes to experience, likes to wander, likes to just stumble into one thing after the other, doesn't really care what it is, just loves the experience, lives for experience, whether it's good or bad, right? And part of us kind of wants that, we're going to feel the relief when all of this very diligent and kind of mundane earth energy work is done. There's going to be this kind of desire to just fly away, to just go and you're free now. You can just float around on the breeze, But we've got to try to harness that energy. And especially when we're coming with this 8 of Wands, 9 of Cups, and then we get to the Fool. The Fool feels the 8 of Wands and the 9 of Cups and just wants to fly around on the wind all day. In your own kind of euphoria. Yeah. We've got to rein it in because we've got a lot of, it's self-control. This is a lot of creativity. Really, the Luster Strength card is about taking all 3 of these energies and harnessing them to be the absolute master at whatever you're doing. Right? These are the 3 key ingredients to that Luster Strength card. And that's going to be amazing. I really do feel that. I feel like did you have a lot of imaginary friends when you were a kid? Because I still feel that there's a lot of people around you. And not just you're in a restaurant and there's a lot of people around you. No, I feel like spirits, entities, intelligences, guides. And it may have started when you were a kid. Maybe you didn't know how to really talk about it or explain it. And maybe people just said, oh, they've got an imaginary friend today. But I feel like it wasn't exactly imaginary. That it was more of your spirit guides already coming to you from an early age. And honestly, you may have had an encounter with an angel at a very early age. Because I feel that. And I feel that you're always open to those kinds of energies, very loving, very supportive, very encouraging. I feel with the pets too, I feel like there's a lot of spirit animals around you. And I don't know if that has anything to do with your work or what you kind of do for others. Maybe just kind of on the side, you're able to facilitate some of this for other people. But I feel like it's just kind of what you experience. And those are entities and intelligences and angels and spirits that are there for you. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of them. It's very strange. But it's good. It's strange in a good way, Let's see, what else have we not talked about yet? The financial concerns, I think, are wrapped up into this as well. I feel like this... I wonder if you're I don't know if you're coming from a tradition of some kind of work. Maybe this is you're starting your restaurant and your family, your I don't know, parents, grandparents, they had their restaurant. Now it's your turn to kind of do the thing. I almost feel like there's some sort of tradition involved here. And Spirit's also telling me that you do a lot of baking. Maybe that has something to do with the work. Maybe it has something to do with food here. I feel like you do a lot of baking maybe at home, maybe professionally even. Okay. But I feel like I feel like there are financial concerns only because there's a big investment in this, right? I don't feel like you're like worried about money. I just feel like you've got a lot of money tied up in this. Yeah. And so, it's, we got to make sure it works out, right? Because we want that return on our investment. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial reading. But if you are starting a business or something, I feel like there's a lot of your own resources tied up into it. And so that's where my feeling of like financial stuff comes through. Okay. Spirit's telling me to ask about the house plant, dancing with the house plant. Is that an inside joke? Is that something you do when you're excited or something, like dance with the house plants or something? Like the big tall ones, like a big, I don't know what they are, ferns or something. I don't know very much about plants, I'll be honest with you. But something with you dancing with a house plant, it's just something that's coming through kind of to tease you a little bit, but it's I think it's something you do when you're really happy that you're just dancing around, and you're going to dance maybe dance with a dog and dance with the house plants and that sort of thing. It's very fun feeling. Finally, though, let's just quickly mention the Luster Strength card. Again, this is you harnessing this, your creative power, creating this sense of, almost this euphoric kind of ambition that you feel. This Nine of Cups feeling that you are absolutely doing what you're meant to do, that you are living your dream, right? Nine of Cups, that is the dream that keeps on dreaming, right? That's the happiness that keeps on happening. And then the freedom with this Fool, all of that stuff needs to be contained and harnessed. And there is absolutely no limit to what you're going to achieve. And this is magical. Yeah. Let's take a look at the mystery card. Thank you, Jimbo. What could this be? I don't know, really. There's nothing that we need. Maybe a 9 or a 10 of cups, 9 or 10 of 9 or a 10 of cups or pentacles. I don't want any swords. I don't think we need any more fire energy. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's take a look. Oh, that's really nice. It's the summit of that kind of euphoria. It's the summit of purpose and meaning and destiny and personal enrichment and empowerment and a sense of a life really fulfilled, really rich in value and meaning here. So not only is this something that's going to pay the bills, it's something that is going to really be spiritually satisfying to the highest degree. And this is why people can feel that. That's your plate of food. That's the love that goes into making that dish, right? And so this is perfect. I don't think I've had a reading this good in a while, and that's saying something. You've got the best of the best here. I'm very excited for you. Now, we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, click on the link that should be up here in the corner. If not, there's one down in the video description. New readings for Libra every Wednesday and Saturday. But I'm here every day. Just come on back. We'll talk again tomorrow. All right? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.